Well, guess who's back again? I'm not really keen on the the instant reaction videos, but at least on this one I know that there's nothing else that's going to change in between the time I record this, the time I upload it, and the time it goes out. When the last one you saw, I was talking about Conor Benn failing the test, and we were just speculating about whether it would still go ahead and whether we were still happy for it to go ahead, and I said money will talk. And then straight after that, we had the British Board of Control come out and say they were going to prohibit it, and something else happened as well just after I put out the video. Well, now the British Board, they prohibited it yesterday. Eddie Hearn and Kayla Sowland, they were all saying no. Well, there's loads of different avenues this should be going ahead. Everyone was speculating Luxembourg. Now it's off, so they're not trying to get any international licenses. Apparently the reason for that is because a hearing may not have been able to take place until Friday evening, or an outcome, which wouldn't have been great, because then when do you actually let the fighters weigh in? Because if the fighters weigh in, you got to pay them. And yeah, so ultimately they say it's postponed, but for right now it's called off. How long it takes before we get any further notice, no idea. I don't know. What I do know is I do think the undercard should still have the chance to go ahead. I know that at least 65% of the crowd will hand back in their tickets, and is what it is. But those people have trained, they've made, they're ready, they've been dieting, they're on track to make weight. Might as well put on all the other fights and just make it a regular DAZN subscription right now. However, that being said, message to Eddie Hearn, message to Joe Markowski, anyone else at DAZN except for Ade, but you need to run me back my money. I want my pay-per-view money back now. Yeah, give me back my money so I can go on with my day. And I also want my subscription back for the month of October, because there was nothing last week. So as it stands right now, there's nothing this week. The next thing I believe that is happening in October is the Taylor Carabajal fight. I mean, Brock Jarvis and Liam Paro, with greatest of respect, is not even in my time zone, so why do I particularly care about it? Not saying that I wouldn't watch it, but that is not worth my $8.99 or my $7.99 for this month. So yeah, however you guys can schedule that to give me back my piece for this month, I will greatly appreciate it. In terms of this news, what do you guys think? Was it right to cancel it? In my personal opinion, I don't think they should have, purely because by the bylaws, everything was still sanctioned under the UCAD board, if they were the ones that are the governing body and the board of drug control that the BBBOC adhere to and abide by. Should have went ahead. However, I totally get all the legal ramifications, and if anything happens to Chris Eubank Jr., and I get all of that. So it's not something I'm going to argue with. I'm not raging about it. What this does show to me, though, ultimately, is this is the greatest face heel turn switch in the history of boxing. I mean, this pretty much is on the level of when Bret the Hitman Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin did the heel and face swap at, WrestleMania 13. It has to be something along those ilks, because Conor Benn has become the biggest villain in boxing right now, and he could be that way for a very long time. So speaking of wrestling, WWE, Extreme Rules is on Saturday night. I guess I got something to watch then. Well, I'll tune into that instead. But yeah, do you know what? It is what it is. Like I said, what do you guys think? Was it a right move? Was it not? Do you think the undercard should still go ahead? Do you think the whole thing should just be scrapped and moved to another date? What do you think? What do you think this means for the zone moving forward? I mean, you know, apparently the BBC is now, they're not dealing with the content. They weren't showing the Born Rivals slot thing. Who knows what's happening with the Virgin Media? We don't know if that deal is now still taking place moving forward. There's a lot to try and decipher. I mean, it might actually cost them more not to show the fight than to have actually put it on, in terms of their relationships and commercial standings and whatnot. I know, yeah, it was brilliant that, yeah, Sky Sports had absolutely nothing to say about this fight beforehand, but as soon as that PED test came out, oh yeah, Conor Benn is supposed to be fighting on Saturday, failed drugs test, and it putting the whole thing in jeopardy. Like, I gotta admit, Sky, they was mad petty for that, but I respect it. I do respect petty at times. So yeah, anyway, you know what, I've still got some work to do, so let me get back to that real quick. And yeah, you guys do what you want with this, leave comments, and for the time being, Hardcore Casual, is this even an episode? I don't know, but you know what, same sign off. Hardcore Casual out.